Alright, what's going on? What we're up to, Finder here, and today we're gonna be talking about some more Hemlein Flora to one ooze. But yeah, this, what we're up to, is called a piercing freeze. And yep, you guessed it, it's going to be all about the compound bow. So yeah, just gonna be reading this, and later on we're gonna be discussing on the changes and the stuff being added into, you know, this update. So yeah, hello everyone, today we wanted to go over some upcoming perk and weapon changes that we feel will improve gameplay and player choice. As always, please let us know if we're on the right track. Okay, on the right track, obviously. So the design team has been looking at perk skills that are fairly lopsided in terms of player choice and has worked on updating their counterparts to make them more viable. These are currently Berserker Z-Time, Survivalist Z-Time, Gunslinger Line 'em Up, and the Firebug Groundfire. Wait, is Groundfire overlooked? Wait, what? Okay, so for the Berserker Z-Time, Berserker Rage is now the heal percentage, fear radius, and fear duration is increased. I mean, if you're gonna be playing, you know, the tanky Berserker, yeah, that skill is for you, I guess. Now it's gonna be better, but I personally still won't use it. And for the Survivalist Z-Time Lockdown, they did change knockdown, stumble, and stun rates are maxed to better guarantee one will trigger on most Zs. Okay, and for the Gunslinger Line 'em Up, additional penetration will be added to all Gunslinger weapons. The bullets will be able to penetrate through Zs when they previously could not, depending on the Z shot. Okay, so this is just like, you know, killing clots, and you're gonna be killing them more if you do decide to use the skill. But what's the counterpart? Okay, the counterpart to Line 'em Up is Speed Loader. Oh my god, who the hell's gonna use Line 'em Up if you have to like reload fast? But yeah, they also changed Firebug Groundfire. This now applies to groundfires generated by the Dragon's Breath, Spitfires, and Molotovs. Okay, that's going to be a no-brainer to use. It already is. So yeah, these changes are just whatever. They could be done in, you know, between major updates, but sure thing. And the weapon that is also getting some attention is the Pulverizer to help make it a more viable option in the current gameplay. Light melee attacks will do more damage, and the explosion has been adjusted to hit more Zs in the explosion radius in front of the player. Please be sure to pay special attention to these skills and weapons and let us know if they need minor adjusting before the final update, or something more for the next major update. Freeze! It's a sharpshooter with a bow, but we already got a bow. This is what happens when you let the engineers come up with the marketing. But you get the idea, both for the new weapon and why to never bet on the odds with people with higher math degrees. Joining the HRG incendiary rifle in the field soon will be the compound bow. For, you guessed it, sharpshooters, yay! Built for those in need of some quick versatility depending on an ever-changing situation. We are shipping it with 2 arrowheads to cycle between. A moderately damaging but strong piercing sharp head and a freezing explosive cryo head. Okay, at least it's gonna have, you know, 2, you know, arrow types. That's kinda nice. And yep, here is the beauty. So yeah, this weapon is most likely gonna be DLC. I don't see why it's not gonna be DLC, because that's what they're doing nowadays, but I might be wrong. Featuring different levels of charge that will allow you to optimize your range and impact damage. You'll have 2 different heads to choose from. The sharp arrows will go through several Zs who have so neatly lined up thanks to your superior position power, and your hasty running ability will allow you to reacquire any in the field that you find. Cryo arrowheads are truly something a little special, freezing many creatures right in their tracks on said impact. Wait, is this it? Okay, so this was the ending of the what we're up to. They didn't actually say, oh, next week we're gonna have this, next week we're gonna have that. So what, we're gonna get the beta next week or something, because they didn't hint at anything for next week? Or maybe, you know, this update is so mediocre that they're not even gonna bother with another week. But yeah, ranting Finder here, and right now, yeah, I still refuse to believe this is a major update. We're getting a community map, a reskin, like 4 stat changes that are, or should I say, that could be done in just 3 seconds, and a DLC compound bow with nothing else. Are you joking? Yep, I do believe 2020 is going to be the end of yeah boy killing floor 2. Could be wrong. Guess we'll see. But yeah, I don't want to be like all negative here. I mean, at least we're getting, you know, a compound bow with 2 arrows, right? So yeah, the way I see the compound bow, this is going to be exactly the same as, you know, the crossbow we currently have, but you can cycle between 2 arrows. So yeah, there's going to be the sharp arrows and the cryo arrows. So yeah, sharp arrows, I think they're just going to be the same damage as the crossbow we currently have. But I mean, I do believe this bow is going to be used more on the Survivalist because, you know, it's going to do damage and you're going to be supporting the team by freezing big things. But yeah, it does have a neat little, you know, functionality. You can freeze Zeds and then you can cycle to the other arrow and then you can just like chop up a freaking skrook or something like that. But yeah, this bow, it definitely has unique functionality, I'm gonna give it that. But I mean, they didn't actually hint that it's going to be a DLC weapon, so is it going to be DLC? I mean, that's why on the thumbnail you're gonna see DLC and a question mark. But yeah, on top of that, Pulverizer. Okay, so the Pulverizer, yeah, it's gonna get outclassed still by the Hemoclobber, because, you know, the Hemoclobber, you heal yourself. I mean, I still do sometimes use the Pulverizer just because of how fun it is to just like blow up some Zeds. But I mean, if you want to play to win, then definitely go with the Hemoclobber, because on top of that, with the Hemoclobber you can also heal your teammates. But yeah, I don't think those skill changes are that much, you know, of a change. I mean, ground fire is like a straight up buff, and you know, gunslinger line them up. I don't think I'm gonna be using that because speed loader is far more important. And I mean, survival is that time. I do much rather just, you know, reload and shoot as fast as possible. But I mean, I'm just gonna test it out for the sake of testing it out. And for Berserker that time rage, yeah, usually you're gonna be, you know, chopping things up in slow motion, so why would you even pick that skill? But yeah, man, the Firebug, yeah, ground fire is going to be very freaking cool, especially for Spitfires, Molotovs, and the new upcoming Dragon's Breath. So yep, Firebug's gonna be a little bit more, I don't know, viable again, because the dude's already getting an HRG incendiary freaking rifle. And yep, this is pretty much this what we are up to. But yeah, man, an update like this, I don't class this one as a major update. I mean, how could you? There's like nothing in it. I mean, if we're gonna get like a what we're up to next week saying, oh, by the way, we're adding new weekly outbreaks and better objective mode, yeah boy. Yep, that's what I classed as a, you know, major update. But if you know these three what we're up to's are going to be it, then yep, I don't think that's much of a major update now, is it? But yeah, man, this update, it's very hard to be hyped about it because there's just nothing in it. A community map, one reskin, and this compound bow. I guess the compound bow is a bit hype, but not really. But yeah, as always, do let me know on what you guys think about, you know, what I just said about this update, about the skill changes, Pulverizer change, I guess, and you know, the compound bow, because I mean, the only thing cool about this update is going to be this bow, because now the sharpshooter, yeah, it's going to be more of a supporting, heavy hitting type of perk. Now we still don't know how much it's gonna weigh, what tier it's gonna be. I'm thinking it's going to be a tier 3 weapon, because I don't see this thing being, you know, tier 4 or tier 5. And I mean, if you can't pair it with a freaking railgun, then what's going to be the point? Because we already got the crossbow. But yeah, this is obviously just going to be my opinion, but yep, this update doesn't look promising at all. Now, the main problem with Killing Floor 2 is the lack of content being added into each update. Because Killing Floor 2, like it or not, yeah, it's the type of game that requires content to, you know, keep itself relevant. Now, like I said in the past, weekly outbreaks were a really good idea, but they just scrapped that idea for, you know, trying to make it better. On top of that, objective mode is something that was very good in Killing Floor 1 and had like some replayability. It was fun to play from time to time. But I mean, Killing Floor 2's objective mode, you just go in, get those achievements, and then you'd never play objective mode again, because it doesn't have anything unique in it. So yeah, I don't know, Killing Floor 2 in 2020, if they don't make anything good in the next week, yep, this spring update is gonna be a flop. And then, like I always said, hopefully the summer update and the other updates are going to be something better. But I mean, I've been saying that for the past couple of years, so I don't have my hopes up for 2020. But yeah, a lot of people actually pointed out that, you know, they do have new developers working on Killing Floor 2. Now, I don't know exactly if they had anything to do with this update, because this update is the same as previous ones. So yeah, like I said, the future will tell us if this game is still gonna live in 2021, or is 2020 gonna be the last freaking year. Personally, I love this game, but I am by no means a freaking fanboy, because, you know, fanboys are gonna be like, oh my god, HRG, yes! But I mean, for me, HRG is like the laziest thing freaking imaginable. I mean, yes, it is something new, but like I did a couple of videos ago, I just showcased that weapon before it was even released, and someone made it in the community in probably less than, I don't know, 3 days. But yeah, Ranting Finder, over and out. But yeah, do let me know in the comments on what you guys think, and yep, I do respond to each and every one of them, so we can have a discussion. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode, and I'm just gonna leave you with the boss freaking battle. Adios.
Prepare to repel invaders! You know what they look like. They're bleeding already.
It seems I must take a personal hand in this. How tedious. Let me test my new nerve gas.
Here?
Enough of this phase. Now you can face new attacks.
Move. It's ours!
Fools! That was the easy part. See what I have for you next, piggies. Enough of this phase. Now you shrine can face new attacks. Ready? You cannot still be here. Die! Die now! I will not permit this!
Bruh.